Hello, people. Welcome to 15 minutes of talking 46. It's certainly raising my dad to 50, isn't it? His his 50th birthday is in a couple of days. It was still the bestest ever. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I finally get to call him the official old. He has started receiving stuff from the American Retirement Association or whatever it's called. But that is beside the point. 15 Minutes of Talking is a series where I set a 15-minute timer, talk about whatever I want for 15 minutes. Once the timer goes off, I say a short goodbye, and the video ends. And it all has minimal editing, so without further ado, let us get started. Okay. Hey. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Update the streak editor, Bailey. I did that with looking only at my phone to the camera. I think I'm getting good at this. You know, it's been like over a month at this point. I believe this will be like 31, maybe? Whoa, slow down, buddy, slow down. I got this Slinky at HEB. They did like a special like kids day. Oh, I don't. In case you're not Texan, HEB is a Texan supermarket. They were doing like a kids day thing, I believe. So this was one of the rewards. Yeah, buddy. I love branded stuff. It's so weird because because when you put it together, it makes some words, but when you separate it, it just has random black marks. But yeah. So I like twisting it so you can see like, just like goes. I like slinkies. In case you couldn't tell, this is one of the bigger ones I own. It gets tangled way less, which I love. Yes. So let's start the outfit breakdown, and that is, this duck hat was covered in episode 7. If you want to know more about the duck hat, go to episode 7. This shirt was covered in episode 5. If you want to know more about the shirt, go to episode 5. This pin was covered in yesterday's episode. And it's also covered in today's episode, as in, I covered it with index cards again so that you don't find out personal information about me. Look, isn't that neat? Isn't that fun and dandy? Yes. Yeah, but let's start talking about our days, everyone. Uh, today, I did stuff. Yes, and that's so. Today is the last day of my last childhood summer because next summer I will be 13, and that will be a teen summer. So the only thing I did in honor of that, which I feel bad, I went to McDonald's. That's for lunch. For dinner. That's what I did. Let's talk about something. Let me get real with you for a second, y'all. There's this one Panera that I've grown up at. Me and my dad have been going there regularly since as long as I could remember. I it began to feel like a third home for me. You know, whenever for sixth grade they had an assignment where we had to plan out like a map or something, and instead of doing a house like most people are doing, I just did Panera because it felt like home. You know, I grew up at that place, but apparently in 2019 it was bought out by a franchisee, including all the Paneras in my area. Um, you might have seen this on the news, I'm not sure. But, recently he's been struggling. He owes like $10 to $50 million. Apparently, a few of the Paneras he owns, violated and food safety violation. They had like health and food safety violations, which makes sense in its later days. My Panera had one spot where flies would just be skittering around, but you know, after 2019, people said the quality went down, but I stuck with it. I never lost faith that my Panera could return to the glory days. Uh, I still asked my dad to go there regularly, and we would. Without hesitation, spent my 12th birthday there. You know, my order was always some variation, grilled cheese or mac and cheese with chips or a baguette. With sometimes I get a fountain drink, sometimes I get apple juice. Uh, like a lot of big meal days have been spent at that Panera. Like it's I grew up at that Panera, man. But yes, recently that franchisee had been struggling. Um, and apparently he was told by the corporation to shut down his Paneras because they were in health of food safety violation, and he continued to illegally operate them. But recently, on August 1st, they all got shut down, by Panera being one of them. There is hope that it will be bought out by new management and reopened. But I don't want to believe it. It's going to be false. There was no indication that it was going to close either. All it was there was a sign on the front door that said they would be shortening hours and thank you for supporting them during hard times. And then on August 1st, they just all closed. All the Paneras in my area. There's nothing that I can replace them with that's not more than 45 minutes out. I don't know if hope that it will be reopened under new management would be false or not. I certainly hope it's not. I hope it's going to reopen within the next year. Few months would be nice. Because I grew up at that place and that building I had such a connection to. You know, it's been there for me the whole time. And I just feel like there was a evil businessman got into lawsuit. The Panera I grew up in was caught in the crossfire. Didn't even know that the last time I went there would be the last time that I would go there. There was no indication anywhere that it would close. And that was like a week ago or something. Let's just say during Rock 101 practice today, whenever I was saying say it ain't so, that was driven by genuine emotions. It's hard. The hardest part is how sudden it was. All we knew was that the business was struggling a bit. My dad comforted me with saying they wouldn't shorten hours if they didn't think there was any hope of still keeping the business alive. But it was being operated illegally, apparently. I'm seeing this on Fox News, and it just feels so blasé. Like, news doesn't know the effect that Panera had in my life. It was just the first in a long list of ones that shut down. It's it didn't recognize it just and I know for most people this is just like, oh, how unfortunate this was happening and they move on with their lives, but this is not the situation for me. I didn't even know until today it's shut down like on August 1st. It's August 12th, but I didn't know until today. Okay? I did not. So, yeah, this is probably like the most visceral I'm gonna get on this channel. you know? Um, yeah. I don't know how to move on from this. I mean, could tell you that my dad rented a car today to drive me to school tomorrow. Could tell you that uh friend H got to sign friend T's card today, but just don't know how to move on. I can't stress enough how big of an impact this Panera had in my life. Bernie says Panera is a ticking time bomb. People hated that Panera if you look on Yelp. Um, Even my own father would always complain when we go there. There was a brief period where I felt it had returned to the glory days. It had finally become good again, but apparently that was the period where it was being operated illegally. Like I said, evil businessman. Thing is, this isn't even like anti-capitalism or, or anything like that. Like, this isn't like, oh, evil corporation. Corporation was in the right here. There's health and food safety violations, and yet he continued to open it. He had been asked in May. In May. Which is weird because it's a brief scare in May where we thought it was going to close. Which I guess it was supposed to close. But it continued to stay open. Why? Why now and not then? Well, at least then I had the opportunity to go there and know it was the last time. This was just so sudden. You might think I'm just overreacting, but I cannot stress enough I grew up at this place. There's not a time that I don't remember going there. Like, been with me throughout all the years. I've been going there longer than any of the houses that my mom has had. My earliest memories there aren't much after my earliest memories at this house, which I've lived in my whole life. Regularly. Since the foreseeable past. I hope, maybe false, but I hope new management will come. I have not given up hope, even if I maybe should. I don't know. This is just all so sudden. I mean, seventh grade starts tomorrow. Maybe school will get me back into the swing of things. The day that I thought it was going to, I originally thought it was going to close was the last day of sixth grade. So fake me out on the last day of sixth grade, but then actually give me the news on the last day before the first day of seventh grade. Neat. Cool. Okay. Apparently, my dad didn't tell me right away because he was hoping to get better news until. But during the shower today, I was taking a shower and I was thinking, because of course, shower thoughts, and I got really scared because of that sign. And I came and I asked my dad, "Hey, is Panera going to close?" And I got all this news while I was in a towel, by the way. Um, and he pulled up that news article, which apparently he had read last week, but he was waiting to deliver the news to me because he wanted to receive better news. I search up is Panera insert location going to reopen? Like nothing comes up. Like the news report felt so soulless, but it didn't. It felt like it didn't care. Sorry for wasting this 50 minutes of talking about this, but I cannot stress enough how big of an impact this location, this specific location, had on me and my life. I Now it's gone, and I'm just so sad. I'm just so angry. This is the most personal video I'm ever going to release. I'll tell you now, this is the most personal video I will ever release. Uh, yeah. Hey, bye.